Hey, yo, what up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Trapezoid, aka William, if you know me personally. First month of the NFL season comes just to about a wrap. You know, it's the 29th. Got Thursday night football. But yeah, first month done. I want to recap it. I want to do one every month. You know, break down how the month has been overall. So, since it's only the first month, we have minimal things to go over. To start out, we have two perfect 3-0 teams, the Dolphins and Eagles. Miami has played New England, Baltimore, and Buffalo with a differential of plus 19. The Eagles have played Detroit, Minnesota, and Washington for a plus 36 differential. In one of the three games Miami played, they allowed their opponents under 10. Philly did that twice, so interesting first two 3-0 teams. I definitely see the Eagles more over the Miami because Miami did play Buffalo, who was 2-0. So they're both 2-0 that time as we went from 6-2-0 to 2-3-0. The Raiders are the only 0-3 team. They had the Chargers, Arizona, and Tennessee with a grand total of a negative 13 differential. So they've been keeping it within a one-score game, just haven't been able to take the lead. They should have beat Arizona, but Arizona did come back. So you look at that. So overall, there's 6 different records in the league. You have 13 teams at 2-1, 14 at 1-2. You have a 1-1-1 as the Colts and the 0-2-1 Texans. Biggest surprise so far are the Jaguars and the Browns. Now, I know the Jaguars got a new head coach, and Trevor Lawrence had a bad rookie year, and always hoping for him to turn it around as he was the first overall pick. Probably this quickly, no, but they did defeat the Chargers last week, as we'll mention that in a little bit. And then the Browns, they're 2-1. Could have been 3-0. Would have been probably one of the more shocking 3-0. They defeated Carolina, unfortunately, on a very long field goal by the rookie kicker. They lost to the Jets by just essentially giving them the ball. And then, who did they play last week? They beat the Steelers. That's what it was. So, did not expect them to be 2-1. I expected them 1-2 or 0-3. And then Jags, you know, they are, let me look at it here. They are 2-1 as well. So, let's see, who did they play? Let's look at, got the computer up and so we can see who they did play. Somewhere here. Full schedule. So they played Washington, Colts, and then Chargers. So they lost to the Commanders by 6, defeated the Colts by 24. That was a shutout. And then they beat the Chargers by 28. So this is where there will be another part. So they have your disappointing teams. Now this is a lot more than the surprise teams. You got the Raiders as their 0-3. Cardinals, Chargers, Bengals, and Titans. So Raiders are 0-3, which they're hyped up pretty much all the offseason. So it's shocking that they're 0-3. Probably should be 2-1. Cardinals, let me just confirm. They're 1-2. You know, I know there's a lot of drama in the offseason, but they definitely could have been better. They could be 0-3 as well. Chargers, they're also 1-2 after almost making the playoffs. All that game last week of the year had a tie, and the Raiders kicked field goal to win it. So Raiders are a playoff team, the Commanders, Bengals, and Titans. So you had 4 playoff teams out of the 5, and they're all underperforming. So Chargers are 1-2, Bengals are 1-2. They have not looked like the team from last year, and the Titans are 1-2. In the end, I think the Titans have had it tough because they lost to the Giants when they should have made a field goal. They got destroyed by the Buffalo Bills, and they barely beat the Raiders. So they're in a pickle. So, but, you know, Bengals also coming off the Super Bowl loss. You know, you think they would be hungry and try to fight back. Clearly not. So, in the league, you have your biggest differential and your biggest negative. So, Buffalo's got the biggest differential of plus 23. Second is the Jaguars with plus 46. And who hears a conversation with the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars in the same conversation. And they have the biggest drop, negative, of Tennessee Titans minus 33. And the Jets at the negative 29. And now you're getting Titans and Jets. All these teams are in different conversations. You have Super Bowl contenders versus future. So, you know, I know Tennessee got blown out by Buffalo, so that didn't help. That's why both their differentials are top 1, 2. And you got the Jags, again, last year they defeated the Colts last week of the year. I believe that game was in Jacksonville, that 24-0 shutout. Colts just have not won in Jacksonville. They've actually been shut out 3 times, the Colts versus Jacksonville, since 2017. So that's a lot. So, they got 6 different records. Thursday Night Football, Miami Bengals. For me, I would like to see Miami keep going. They probably have the way their team is built, decent, where they can definitely make a longer contention. I think they could run to when they run to the Bills again, which it will be in Buffalo. That's when I think they'll hit. It won't be bad. How it was last time. It was only 21-19. It'll be a very close game, but I think Buffalo edge them out. Eagles, I think they have a little bit more tougher schedule, because you got the Cowboys and the Giants both trying to play for the division, so they could hit a roadblock at some point. Who knows? Out of the 5 teams that are disappointed, the ones that I think could turn around the fastest are probably the Chargers. They're one. All these teams are 1-2, except for the Raiders. They're 1-3. 1-2 isn't necessarily bad. There is a hole, but I think the Chargers have the best turnaround of going from 1-2 to postseason. Raiders are in the biggest pickle. It's their 1-3. They played Texans this week, so hopefully they win, because I don't see the not trying to be biased, but if the Cardinals keep playing how they are, I don't see them winning against the Panthers this week. Bengals, they play the Jets. No, they played Miami. What am I saying? They just played the Jets. They're playing Miami, so that should be tough. So they may be 1-3. And the Titans, let's just confirm who they're playing next week, because I don't know off the top of my head. That's why we have the computer right over here, if you can see. Titans, they play the Colts. So, and the Colts beat the Chiefs last week, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, if you look at the differentials, those kind of were the ones that stood out for me. You got your standard, between 0 and 10, close games. Eagles, we already talked about the Eagles, and Miami. Baltimore, they're plus 22. The Bears are minus 5, and they're 2-1. Browns plus 13. Cowboys minus 6. Denver plus 7. Packers plus 3. Kansas City plus 23. Rams minus 9. Minnesota plus 3. Giants minus 3. And Tampa Bay plus 24. So, those are the 2-1s. Nothing really stands out. The Jets are minus 29, as we spoke of. Chargers are minus 26, and the Cardinals are minus 25. So those 2 of those teams you're talking also doesn't help when you got blown out. Oh, how the Cardinals minus 25? I forget how bad they lost. They lost by 8 last week, so I make understanding, but they did win. Oh, that's why they got kind of destroyed by the Chiefs first week. I forgot that. So, that's essentially week run. Kind of a shorter one, because there's not really much to. Sorry about that. I had to cut it off for just a moment. But as I was saying, it's only the first month. Not much to essentially recap. In what I have written down here. I believe the next video will be after week 8. So of 8 weeks, 2 months of play. We'll revisit, how many different records we got in the league. Who are the Raiders still winless? Are the Eagles and Dolphins still perfect? Are the disappointment teams turned around? Do we still have the same surprise teams? Do the Jags and Browns keep up with what they were doing? We will see. I know we've had some criticism on the Sting Sports aspect power rankings, but listen, the Raiders going as of week 3, they were 17. They were still pretty high. I was 0-2, unfortunate, but it wasn't like 0-1. That was against Chargers. 0-2, they kind of should have been 1-1, but you lost again. You're 0-3. You're the only 0-3. If there was another 0-3, we would be considered. But the Texans are also 0-2-1, close enough to being not have. They also don't have a win. There's technically 2 winless teams, but you throw in that tie, and the fact that we already had a tie, and it's been week 1. So yeah, essentially there's 2 winless teams, but the fact that the Texans are just a little bit better than the Raiders because they do have that tie, which plays critical, as we all know, towards the end of the season, because that's how the Steelers made it into the playoffs last year, that tie. So I'll say, I know there's controversy, but is what it is. We're going to keep doing them weekly, and we'll see how, again, I do take stats in consideration. I also take the wins, who won, who lost, and by how much. I could have 4 teams win. It's, one team could have won by 20, the other one could have won by 2. So the 1 by 20 moves up a little more than the 1 by 2. So stats do go into this, not just all what people call bias. That's part of the Sting Sports however. I'm myself. This is what I see, how I do, how the first month has gone. So we will come back at month 2, which will be after week 8. So between week 8 and week 9, only a couple days. So I try to get all my information done after Monday night, get everything. So I do my power rankings. I do them Tuesday. Shift everything around, post it. I'll get all the information I need, write it all down, have it here, and then we'll make another YouTube video. So I hope you guys did enjoy. Remember, hit the thumbs up, hit the sub button. We're trying to get to 100 subs here on YouTube before the end of the year. Also trying to get to 200 on Twitch. We're at 164. So everything's now officially Trapzoid. You'll see in the intro and the outro. Brand new too. I still have the old one in case everyone used it, but this one just gives you a little glimpse of what is to come. More is to come though on this channel. I am really working on trying to make more YouTube videos, more Fortnite, more sports, and getting that out there. So I know this one was a little short one, but as the season progresses along, I think we'll have more information to dive into. We're gonna get to the point where we're start talking playoffs. So I hope you guys did enjoy. Remember, like, follow, turn those notifications so you never miss when I post a new YouTube video, even though I post on Twitter when I try to post them. So other than that, the first month is in the books. This will be up very shortly. I meant to record this yesterday, totally forgot. As I'm driving to work, I remember, oh shoot, I have to record this. So I'm recording this now. Thursday Night Football, Miami Bengals. Could be a big one in the power rankings, how things look at. Dolphins can go 4-0, Bengals could be 1-3, or it's a 3-1 and a 2-2. We'll see how it goes. But I like the underdog Miami Dolphins tonight. So if you want to take that, take that. So, but I will see you next month for month 2 of the NFL. I'll catch y'all later.